Okay, when the terminal arms are in the different quadrants, sometimes their sine values or cosine values and tangent values can be positive or negative. Now how do we figure that out? I want you to start with this. We'll start in quadrant 1. I've chosen this point P on the terminal arm at positive 3 and positive 4. The length of R is 5. It's always going to be positive. Now we know that when the terminal arm is in quadrant 1, okay, the x and the y coordinates are positive for point P. Okay, so sine, that would be positive 4 over 5. Positive 4 over 5. 4 over 5, that's a positive value. That's a positive value. The cosine value, that's the x coordinate point P over R. 3 over 5. Positive 3 divided by positive 5, the cosine value is going to be positive. And the tangent value, that's the y coordinate point P over the x coordinate point P. Positive 4 over positive 3, that's positive 2. When the terminal arm is in quadrant 1, the sine, cosine, and tangent values for the angle and standard position, they're all going to be positive. Now what about if the terminal arm is in quadrant 2? For example, we'll just reflect this terminal arm through the y-axis. Point P, that would be at negative 3 and 4. And the value of R is 5. I'm trying to find the sine cosine value for that angle in standard position. All right. The sine, once again, that's y over R. Positive 4 over 5, that's a positive value. The cosine value, the x coordinate is negative. That's negative 3 over 5. So when the terminal arm is in quadrant 2, the cosine value is negative value. The tangent value, that's y over x. 4 over negative 3. 4 divided by negative 3, that's a negative value. So the tangent value is negative when the terminal arm is in quadrant 2. Now, what if the terminal arm is in quadrant 3? Let's just take a look at that. Let me erase this. It's like we were going to reflect this terminal arm down through the x-axis. We'll put it down here. Point P, that would be at negative 3 and negative 4. We're trying to find that angle in standard position. The value of R is always positive. Once again, that's 5. So the sine value, that's negative 4 over 5. That's a negative value. When the terminal arm is in quadrant 3, the sine value is negative. The cosine, that would be negative 3 over 5, which is a negative number. The cosine value, when the terminal arm is in quadrant 3, is negative. The tangent value, that's y over x. Negative 4 over negative 3. And two negatives give you a positive, 4 over 3. The tangent value is positive. When the terminal arm is in quadrant 3, the sine and cosine values for the angle and standard position are negative, but the tangent value is going to be positive. And lastly, we'll reflect this terminal arm through the y-axis again. So now that it'll be in quadrant 4. For that angle in standard position, we have our point P, which is at positive 3 and negative 4. Positive 3 and negative 4. And the value of R is once again 5. The sine value, that's negative 4 over 5. Negative 4 over 5, that's a negative value. The cosine value is positive 3 over positive 5. That's a positive value. And the tangent value, that's negative 4 over positive 3, which is a negative value. When the terminal arm is in quadrant 4, for the angle in standard position, the sine value is negative, the cosine value will be a positive, and the tangent value will be negative. Now, how do you remember where or which terminal arms you will find positive values? In quadrant 1, all 3 values are positive. All. So we use an A to represent all. In quadrant 2, only the sine value is positive. The cosine and tangent values are negative. So I'll put an S up here. In quadrant 3, the sine and cosine values are negative, but the tangent value is positive. So only tangent is positive in quadrant 3. We'll put a T there. And in quadrant 4, the sine and tangent values are negative, but the cosine value is positive. So we'll put a C there. So how can you remember this? And this is the way a lot of kids, you've probably heard of it in the past. A, S, T, C. All students take calculus. That should help you remember the signs of the sine, cosine, and tangent values when the terminal arm is in each quadrant. This will help you in our next example that I'll show in the next video.